All right. Um, how do I start this one? Okay, this one might come off as something heavy, just to let you know. For those who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jose. I do microastrology and a bunch of other things, where I focus using about 150, over 150 asteroids. So today's video, I wanted to talk about how anger can still play a role, but how it's tied to the ego's self-worth, right? Because self-worth is worth. It's believing that you are of value. It's believing that you have something to, that you are something, that you are special, unique, right? It ties into astrologically speaking, like the sun. The sun wants to shine bright, shine bright like a diamond. I'm hearing shine bright like a diamond. So it's this idea that when we're trying to prove something, but the thing is, when we're trying to prove something that is external of us, rather than seeing already the proof that is already there, meaning the proof that we don't have to do anything, we really don't have to. I remember when I was in a swim team, and before I even joined the swim team, I thought it was just like, actually, I started with, I got invited. Okay. It was actually weird because it's like, it was this transitionary thing that I was going through. 2013, I lost my I would say I had a falling out with friends that I thought were family. And they were, but I wasn't really being honest with myself. So I wasn't honest with them. That was how I felt. So we had a falling out, and there was a long story. It was very traumatic for me. It was a reminder of like my own self-worth. And it's like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the sun. How it also ties into the other personal planets, specifically with Venus. There's Mars too. The reason I'm mentioning Mars is because Mars is transiting my first house into actually gone my first, it's already in my second house. So a lot of that self-worth stuff is coming through. And it's a lot of this whole like anger related stuff that's it's surfacing. I noticed that. I'm a little bit more antsy and kind of like irritated, easily irritated. It's kind of like so I can sort of sense it. And so the best way I can find to do this is really to surrender into that anger, surrender into that energy of like, like I stubbed my toe, I hit my foot, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, for fuck's sake. I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, why? So there's no flow, right? Actually, that's the thing with Mars. Mars actually likes to act, but actually, I feel like Mars has a lot to do. This feeling of Mars is gotta go, just gotta go, gotta go, 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 go. But what happens is that with that energy, it burns out. Mars does rule Aries, and Aries is like a burn, it's like a burst of energy, and that's it. Once it dies out, dies out. It's not really consistent, right? Um, so what am I pointing here? I wanted to show that when it comes to self-worth, I actually wanted to show you quickly that I was on TV. So this is where I was on TV. This was the co-chair. We had you can see here, this is in the city. And this was this, and then you can't hear the volume, but this is, I'll show you why I'm here. Let's see. There we go. So we were preparing for this, and there's me right there. um, there's actually another interview. That's not me swimming. Um, and I wanted to show that quick clip. I was on TV, but I remember that time when I was in the swim team. Even before then, after the breakup, what happened was I thought I was just going swimming. I was swimming with my friend, and then it wasn't wearing the proper gear, and I was just kind of like, oh. So I was a late bloomer with swimming. I really love being in the water. I still do. But what happened was when I noticed that I wanted to get better at something. I felt called to do something about it. But what happened was I pushed myself beyond my limits, and I was so unconscious about why I was doing the whole thing. What was I trying to prove? I did want to get faster. I did want to do this. So I started out with like once a week, and it went to 3 times a week. Um, Maybe about half an hour starting and then went into an hour and then an hour and a half. As long as I could get the most out of it in every session that I was in, that I was doing, I was really enjoying it. But I realized that I kept going. It became sort of addictive. And I just kept going. But then I realized like, oh, I'm trying to prove myself. I want to get faster. So there's a point in time around, this was 2013. Around 2015, I started to feel like I had to prove something. I had to go like, okay, I am getting better. And then in 2016, sorry, I was ready for a swim team. That's when I joined that swim team. It was a master's program. Not master's like university master's, like master's, this is what it's called. Okay. So sorry, if the Mars is coming out right now. I'm so sorry about that. But it's just like boom. And then I felt like I had to really prove something. I actually have Venus square my Neptune, and Venus is trine my Chiron. And so what happened was there's a lot of trust, there's a lot of wounding that comes with the loss of things like value of myself, self-worth that's in Taurus. My Chiron was in Taurus in the 10th house, so reputation. So that was a strong thing. But then instead of enjoying, or now my Neptune is just in the fifth house, is about enjoyment, fun, recreation. Instead of just being enjoying stuff in the water, I wanted to prove something. So there's this flow, this Venus thing I have with Chiron. It's always wanting to prove something. It has gotten better, where now it's like I actually have Venus opposite Chiron now in my progress chart. And so what happens is I'm trying to, I think it's opposite. I'm not sure. But anyways, the point is, I'm trying to integrate what is self-worth to me. So now when I do things like this astrology stuff, and then there's also the evidential mediumship, the psychic stuff, tarot reading, oracle cards, hydromancy, all that stuff. I'm not doing it. I'm trying not to do it anymore, or rather, I'm being called to be more conscious of why am I doing this one? Is it coming from the heart? Is it coming from the ego? Right? Meaning ego, what I mean is unhealthy ego. A healthy ego understands that it's like, okay, things are from the heart. The ego is tied to the sun. Sun is also Rose ego. So this is the 10th house. So now it's more like I just wanted to show my experience and I wanted to share it because I feel like it's important to show to others that, it's okay to go through self-worth stuff. It's okay. Sometimes it'll push you. And sometimes it'll make you feel like you have to really prove your worth to the world. But there is nothing to prove, really, in the end. There's nothing to prove because you are worthy as you are. Right? Bashar says in just to quote Bashar, he says, um, what is this? You're worthy just because you exist. So um, and that's one of the things that I'm still learning. And it's not perfect, because there's no such thing as perfect. Okay, really, just let go of that. um, and so now, I don't know. I kind of still miss being in the water. I kind of miss that whole like healthy competition of just like kind of like not really racing, but more like that whole but it's temporary. Winning is temporary. Having to win is temporary. It's like this whole like, yeah, I did so well. But if you look into the emotions behind it, not just emotions, sorry, the body, if you go into your body, what does that feel like in that moment? Because I remember when I had that, it was just like I accomplished something. And then it was over. I've had like gold medals. I didn't actually have medals in master swimming, at least in Canada. What happens is that the way it works, I believe, is that they just give you ratings. So I've gotten a lot of gold medals, silver, several bronze, but no medals itself, which is fine. So um, I still actually have the records somewhere. But anyway, so that's how it's that. I have swimming stuff, and even if I were to share something, like I'll show you what I mean here. Um, where was that? Just do a quick show. I'm doing this because I really wanted to show you something that I'm still proud of having, but not like I'm trying to prove anything. Here is, so this is when I was doing something. What's going on here? I'm wondering if I could just oh, okay, I can download it. Okay, here we go. This was recorded um, by my coach at this time, and this is one of them. I'll show you one of them. Okay, so here, here we go. You can't hear the sound, I don't think. So I was very tired to do like a full, like when you do butterfly, and that was a backstroker. Um, so I had to. That took a while to master, several years to do the flip turn, especially the backstroke one. I actually enjoyed doing that stuff. I like doing because it feels good. There's that adrenaline rush, or rather, not adrenaline. The what do you call that? Endorphins. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that quickly. But anyways, the point is self-worth is a heavy thing. It's a very heavy thing. It's like we want to prove something, especially like when I go to circles. Sometimes there's like, do I need to read? But it's like it's not about me. Spirit wants to come through. Is there a message? Then you come through, right? Ego is such a very heavy thing. It's very like it's from the heart. It's funny because astrologically, the ego is the sun too, and the sun rules the heart. So there can also be the shoulders. Not really sure about that one. That's for another time. But right, so it makes sense how when we go through this process, and sometimes we have to kind of, a lot of times you have to go through ego death. Sorry, I'm looking at something else instead of the camera. Um, so, anyways, I wanted to really share that because I find that very important. I find that it's very, very, it's important to go through the process itself and then die in the process, which is funny because I was mentioning Mars earlier, right? You look at the high vibration of Mars, and when I say high vibration, it's literally the way I understand it is because of the evolved part of that aspect of ourselves. So Mars, the high vibration of Mars, which is always go, 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 um, is Pluto. Pluto is surrender. But the high vibration of Pluto, funny, is Eris. She's complete surrender. She's a peaceful warrior. She's just like then people feel that she's like the goddess of discord and all that stuff. But Eris in astrology is, to me at least, based on my research, she's just like, are you sure this is what I want? Are you sure this is what you want? Is this what? So you give yourself this golden apple and then you test it. There's vanity behind this desire for power, this desire for control and being like, always just in control, right? So that's her. And then there's high vibration of Venus, which is Venus is tied to self-worth. That's Neptune. Neptune learns to kind of be more pacifist as well, letting go. But then there's a higher vibration of Neptune, which is Haumea. It's complete trust in your ability to just surrender to the, the loss of yourself. You just and you kind of regenerate through. How do I call this? She's really about like. mm, it's like you don't have to prove anything. Just die to the loss of worth, and then you'll go, and then you'll be reborn. If that makes kind of sense, right? Right now, Haumea is still new to, and these dwarf planets are new to astrology, so they're still developing the minds of the consciousness of humanity. But we kind of get the feeling already of what they are because it's already there. You just can't put the words into it. You can't really name it, So, anyways, I thought I'd just make this video and share this with you because I thought it's something that I've been going through a lot. And want to question your values, want to question what you believe in, and your sense of this, what is worth to you. Does it have to be worth at all, or is it something else altogether? So it's worth at least contemplating, but it's also worth releasing and figuring out nothing. There's nothing to figure out. So the key is really, I think for me, at least in my experience, the key is really surrender, have that ego death, and you start to realize, huh, why is it that for example, for me, why is it that I love swimming in the first place? Why did I love it? Because I love being in the water. I love being able to swim like a fish, being able to flow and move freely and just do all that stuff. But it doesn't have to be in its form of this competitiveness, right? It can still be this kind of swimming thing, in the pool when there's a pool lane and all that stuff. But it can be even more than that, a lot more than that, way more than that, those kind of things. So I hope this was insightful. I hope that gives you a sense of, you know, idea of what I'm talking about. If you can feel what I'm saying, self-worth is a huge thing. Ego is still a huge thing today. We have to defend ourselves. We have to be right. We have to control. We have to fix things because we create problems and then fix and problem fix, problem fix. It's like this never-ending story, right? So, but but at the same time, lessons repeat. So I'll link down below the video I posted on this one regarding things that tend to repeat. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching though. If you have any comments, please write them down. Connect if you'd like to. It's up to you. It's a free world, but please like and subscribe. That's also free. It's your choice to do that as well, but I encourage you to do that. And I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Have a very wonderful day, evening, week, month, year. See you later.